You are still an endangered species if you are on earth and you don't love God. And unfortunately, there are many believers who are in very dangerous zones because they are neither in the will of God, neither are they in the presence of God, nor do they walk in the love of God. One thing that is very critical and literally defines who we are and the quality of our existence is what the Lord has put in my spirit to share with you tonight, and I have titled it, How to Walk in Love with God, or how to love the Lord. Because there are many people who are not loving or walking or having a love walk with God. Our walk with God has reduced largely to religious activities. Our walk with God, if any exists, has become a religious thing. So once on Sunday, we go to where Christians gather, we identify with Christians and we walk away. And we think that's enough. So all we have is an emblem over our heads that we belong to a particular kind of belief system or worldview. But critically, if you examine us, we don't really have a relationship with God. And so I'm going to start this teaching tonight looking at how to love God, or how to sustain a love walk with God. And then I will come back on Tuesday and show you how to receive the love of God. It's one thing for you to give love to God, and it's another thing for you to receive love from God. This balance must be kept if you will stand and finish to the end. It said, because iniquity will abound. Matthew 24 verse 12. It said, the love of many shall wax cold. You'll be surprised, but it is true that there are many people who don't love God. There are many people who no longer have a relationship, a love, experiential relationship with God. Jesus himself was speaking to a people that came to him in John chapter 5 verse 42. He said, but I know you, that you do not love God. That's Jesus talking to people. He said, the love of God is not in you. I know you. So there are people masquerading themselves, even in the house of God, who don't love God. They don't have a love walk with God. And there are evidences to show. If you study 1 John chapter 2 verse 15, the Bible says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. It says, for they that love the world, the love of the Father is not in them. So there are many people, even in church, whom the love of God is no longer in them. Forget how they dress to church. Forget the things they do in church. In fact, some of the people you see who are passionate in church don't love God. They were taught the gospel of transaction. So they know if they do certain things, they will get certain things. So they have no relationship. In fact, what they are doing in church is not different from what somebody who goes to a herbalist does. Because when you go to a native doctor, you don't need to have a relationship with the demon. All you need to do is to do what the native doctor tells you and get what you want, and you get away. The shrine is just a meeting point, but there's no relationship. Unfortunately, that's how many Christians are today. They don't love God. They have no love of God in their spirits. They have no relationship with God. And God knows these people. It's no longer a hiding thing. But you see, the problem is that it's a dangerous thing to live on earth and not love God. It doesn't even matter if you are saved. You are still an endangered species if you are on earth and you don't love God. There are many people who don't even know what it means to love God. If we took a census here to find out what does it mean to love God, you'll be shocked. The many unbiblical answers you will get. Because they've never really studied the subject. They've not even considered the subject to be important. But I want to begin tonight by telling you that it's a dangerous place to be if you don't have the love of God in you. It's a dangerous place. There are many dangerous locations on earth. Afghanistan is not one of them. If you are not in the center of God's will for your life, it doesn't matter where you are. You are in a dangerous place. If you are not in the presence of God, it doesn't matter where you are. You are in a dangerous place. If you are not in the center of the love of God, it doesn't matter where you are in a dangerous place. And unfortunately, there are many believers who are in very dangerous zones because they are neither in the will of God, neither are they in the presence of God, nor do they walk in the love of God. Tonight, I want to deal with the love of God. I will show you what the love of God is. I will show you the blessings of walking in the love of God, and I will show you how to cultivate the love of God. You need to learn to cultivate the love of God, because the love of God can be learned. The love of God can be cultivated. And many believers don't know this, and so they are just loafing around and they are wondering why things are happening to them that shouldn't happen. And when they see others who are walking in unexplainable blessings, they are jealous of them. You don't have to be jealous. There is enough for all of us. But there are ordinances that must be kept for us to walk and access the things that are made available. So the first thing I want to show you tonight is that it's a dangerous place to be if you are not in the love of God. Number one, let me show you the 4 dangers. Is that you are in the danger of judgment and a curse. Anybody who is not walking in the love of God is like an accursed person. The experiences of his life will not be different from a man who is cursed. He won't understand why. He is doing business, it's not working. Any bad thing that happens, he's the first it happens to. He puts all his effort, he's sinking, and is wondering what's going on. In fact, he will be right to say that he's cursed. Because without the love of God, that is where you are. The Bible speaking in 1 Corinthians chapter 16 verse 2. It said, if any man loveth not God, if any man loveth not the Lord Jesus Christ, it said he is anathema maranatha. You know, many times we keep shouting maranatha, but we don't know that that word is a compound word. It's anathema maranatha. Now, in the days of priesthood, any material in the temple that is cursed, they separate it from sacred things and they put it aside, waiting for a time when the temple will be decluttered and those things will be cast away. So those items that are cursed and separated is what they call anathema maranatha. That means cursed, awaiting visitation. So when we say Lord come, that's not where the phrase ends. The scripture is actually saying those who don't love God, they are cursed. And they are kept waiting for the day Jesus will cast them out. So a person who doesn't love God is at the risk of a curse and a big judgment. In John chapter 3 verse 19, Jesus himself was speaking and he said, this is the condemnation. He said, light is coming to the world. He said, but men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. So anybody who doesn't love God, Jesus said this is the condemnation. He is the embodiment of condemnation. If you come to a point where the devil successfully make it possible for you not to love God, he doesn't need to attack you. You have become cursed. Your life won't work. If you like, drums of oil should be poured on you. If you like, live on a mountain praying. You are an accursed commodity. And even when God comes, it's not for intervention, it's to cast you out. Because the position of a man who doesn't love God is anathema maranatha. Praise God. Number 2, what's the danger of living in a realm where the love of God does not exist? There will be awakenings of demonic appetites. When you see men deviate from God and suddenly begin to love strange things, it's because the love of God has left them. The moment you can no longer stay with God, the moment you can no longer live serving God, the moment the presence of God becomes boring and walking with God becomes a burden, know that something has died on your inside. And not too long, another thing will wake up, because we were created to be conveyors. We were not created to be empty. There is a vacuum in us that must be filled at all times. So if God doesn't fill it, something else will fill it. The moment a man loses the love of God and begins to detest or struggle with God's presence, that vacuum becomes open again. Something else will fill him. In 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 2, Paul spoke of a man who was a veteran, serving God with them. They loved prayer. They loved soul winning. They were champions of revival together. But suddenly, something happened. Satan was not fighting him every day. Something was off in his spirit. The love of God died. And without anybody talking to him, on his own, he left pursuing other things. Paul said, for Demas had forsaken me, having loved this present world, and is departed unto Thessalonica. A revivalist, a servant of God, suddenly developed another appetite. Now, what is in the world? The lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, the pride of life. 1 John 2 verse 15 to 17. So that's why I said, when the love of God dies, appetites resurrect. Demas has loved this present world. Something happened. The love of God died. The lust of the eyes took off. The lust of the flesh woke up. The pride of life woke up. And on his own, he departed. That's why you see people walk away from church, walk away from God's presence, walk away from the house of God, walk away from the service of God. And then after 2 months, they become champions in the club. Because another appetite must rise. That thing that keeps you wanting to come for prayer meeting, wanting to study the Bible, wanting to go for soul winning, it's not your will, it's the love of God. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 2:14, he said the love of Christ constraineth us. When that power is withdrawn, you will see that another appetite will begin to constrain you. You won't know why you like this will suddenly be on alcohol again. You like this will be jumping from one hotel to another. Sometimes the thing will hit you, you will cry. How did I get here? Something has died inside. It's a dangerous place to be when the love of God dies in you. And it is possible. Because Demas once loved God. Demas once walked with Paul. But suddenly, Paul said he loved this world. And who are those who love this world? Those whom the love of the Father is not in them. 1 John 2:15. He said, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. He said, they that love the world, the love of the Father is not in them. So Demas once had the love of God. But when he departed from God, that love died. And other appetites came in, because Paul said he loved this present world. And what is in this present world? The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life. So the second danger of not walking in the love of God is that demonic appetites will wake up in you. You are capable of many things. So the reason why you are not doing it is because something is constraining you. If you let that constraining force die, you will be shocked what you are capable of. This is a world where in order to buy food, people murder people. Sometimes when they arrest certain murderers and you hear the reason why they murdered people, you will weep at how damaged the world has become. People kill people for 4,000 naira. 4,000 naira. They will eat lunch and in the evening is over and the conscience is dead. But those same people can be revivalists too. The difference is the appetite ruling them. When the love of God takes over, you begin to walk and function with God, like God, and you become exactly like Him. But when that love dies, you start walking with devils, doing the lust of the devil, and you become like the devil. This is why you can never and should never allow the love of God die. Number 3, what happens to you when you lose the love of God? You become a candidate for rejection. When the love of God dies in you, God Himself will reject you. In Revelation chapter 3 from verse 15 to 16, Jesus was speaking to the church. He said, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. He said, I will wet you. I would that I know thy works. Oh. Why? Who divided this screen for God's sake? Don't be creative, sir. Please, don't be creative. I know your work, that thou art neither hot nor cold. I wish you were cold or hot. Next verse. Okay, so I'm reading only this side. I will leave that side for those there. Concentrate there. Me, I will stay here. Verse 17. So then, because you are lukewarm and neither hot nor cold, I will vomit you out of my mouth. When a man does not love God, God vomits him out of his cut off from the commonwealth of Israel. Because this thing is not ritual, it's not religion, it's a relationship. I will vomit you out of my mouth. Because you are neither hot nor cold. So if you love God, love God. If you don't love God, go and enjoy your life so that you prepare well for hell. Don't appear in hell and be offended. Practice your destination from here, sir. Do all that those who go to hell do well. So that when you go to hell, you say, I had my heaven on earth. Now I'm in hell. But those of us who love God, we will have heaven both on earth and in heaven. Because those who love him, he said he will come to them and manifest himself. So we are not waiting for a heaven. Right now we can walk in heaven. And when we cross over, absence from the body is still presence with the Lord. Please, don't find yourself in a place where your love for God is dead. You have made yourself a candidate for rejection. What then does it mean to love God? If loving God is so important, I was sharing with somebody this morning and I told him, you have to ask questions and understand how things are defined. Don't assume them. Assumption is the lowest level of knowledge. Those of us who are scientists, we know that. When we make an assumption, we go into observation, then we go into hypothesis, then we go into experimentation before we agree on a truth as a law. So we don't operate at the level of assumption. Assumption is the lowest level of knowledge. After assumption, there is still need for observation, for hypothesis, for experimentation before a truth is established. This is in the natural realm. Now you are dealing with a spirit. You are just there assuming you love God because they played a slow music and you are crying. Your soul just aligned with the symphony. If they bring a worldly music that have that beat, you will still cry. Have you not been there before? You are singing a song, you think you are ascending. Then I say, wait, oh, have you heard the lyrics? That's not a Christian song. You are like, come on, how do you mean? No, it's not a Christian song. It's a demonic song. You say what? Yes, even demons can carry your soul. The realms are not only in light, they're also in darkness. So don't define things from the realm of assumption. I was telling the brother, I said, take for instance, what does a woman call love? For the first time, it dawned on him that, is there a definition for it? I said, you don't know. What? You think love is just hugging people and trying to kiss them? That's your selfishness. You are trying to please your desire. You can be hugging somebody and you don't love the person. You are feeding an appetite. So some people, what they even call love is selfishness. They don't know what it is. What does a man call love? They don't know. Because they have not examined the subject from the book. As far as God is concerned, what love is to a woman is not a feeling. What love is to a woman is a security, a secured place that is proven through sacrifice. So before any woman is sure you love her, she must be able to trust you and find security in you. But what will make her trust you and find security in you is when she sees that you are sacrificial. That's why the Bible likened the love of Jesus for the church as death. It said, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself. So if you don't sacrifice for a woman to a point where she can find security in you, Even if she tells you she loves you, she's just trying to make you feel okay. If a woman doesn't find security in you, she can never love you. And the only way she can find security in you is when she sees that you are willing to sacrifice your all, including yourself. That's why we call them selfish. They are not selfish. That's their definition of love. That's why when you come and you don't give them something, they are wondering, don't you love me? Because they define love by sacrifice. There is a measure of sacrifice that can be care. There's a measure of sacrifice that can be attention. So before you call any woman selfish, find out, are you stingy? Because no woman will call Jesus selfish. Because Jesus gave himself. That's why women start gauging you from the gift you bring. They see you buy a toy, you buy a recharge card, you give them money. This guy is traveling, he's traveling, but he will soon get there. They will weigh you and see how much does he have and how much did he give me. They are judging the sacrificial quotient or the sacrifice quotient. By the time they see that, you are busy, but you sacrifice attention and you give them attention. You don't have much. You sacrifice the little you have and got them something. You see that they'll start opening their hearts. Okay, there's a human being here. All the other dogs that just came here because my God, when the woman becomes sure that you can sacrifice anything for her, she will find security in you. That's when she opens her heart. Because as far as a woman is concerned, love is sacrifice. Love is self-denial. If you can't give up yourself, you can't love her. And then when you come to the side of a man, the love is not, I love you, I love you. Sometimes when you are saying it, the man is like, oh, madam, I beg. You are looking for money, you are talking, I love you. What do I do with those rhymes? If you are a poet, go and open a page and do poetry there. Yes, I think. I love you, I love you. No. Oh, madam, calm down. Keep your rhymes to yourself. He said, wives, submit yourselves to your own husband as the church is unto Christ. And how does the church see Christ? As Lord. That's why I tell people, my friend, that's Western civilization. The man that will be sure you love him is the one you call Lord. If you don't submit to him, if you like, let your eyelashes be as tall as a palm tree. Naked yourself from morning till night. You are joking. There are many naked women on the streets. If he's looking for nakedness, he can buy with 10,000. The reason he will stick to you is because in addition to those other things that can tantalize him, he is sure that when it comes to you, there's no contention for power. You surrender. The moment you surrender, you make him feel like he can render leadership. Because every man thinks he's a man when he can lead. If you are fighting with him over who will lead, you are joking. If he doesn't conquer you, he won't stop. The warrior in him will rise. And guess what? He will see you as his opponent. You go fight, tire. After you rant and quarrel, when you go to sleep, he's going to play PS. You are the one who quarrel, and what he said remain in your heart for 2 weeks. You are crying. The one you said, he will forget it when he turns. Because his responsibility is there. He doesn't have time to think. You say, I'm mad, I'm crazy. The mess, you see Israel, boy, what did they happen? They will just go and watch football and forget that you exist. The next time he comes back and sees you, he's seen another opponent. He will rise up. You want to fight? I was built for it. Look at the size of my chest. I'm a warrior. So if you want to love a man, you respect him. You honor him. When you honor him, he too finds his security. That means there's no competition here. I am the leader here. Then what does he do? He now uses all his strength to protect you. So you see the wisdom of God is like a cyclical reality. that sacrifice you are looking for, that security you are looking for, he will use his strength to secure you. And that security he is looking for, your submission is what gives it to him. That's how you love a man, and that's how a man loves a woman. Because what a woman calls love is different from what a man calls love. A woman sees love as sacrifice because only there does she find security. A man calls love unconditional submission because only there does he find security. So if you don't know this, anything you are saying, you are a Yahoo boy. But now when you come to a spirit who does not need security from you, he is God all by himself. He doesn't need you to be God. Your existence or non-existence does not affect him. How do you love him? This is why you have to come to the book and find out what he calls love. And this is where many Christians have lost it. What does God call love? How does God consider you as his lover? What do you do to make God think you love him? That you are rolling on the floor naked and crying doesn't move him, sir. That's not love in his definition. So there are 10 basic things God looks at in a man that he recognizes as love. Number 1 is obedience. You can cry and think you love God more than everybody. Somebody else may be walking with God who has never cried in God's presence. God will call that person a lover and reject you. And you'll be shocked because it's not about emotion. The Bible speaking in John 14:15, it says, if you love me, if you say you love me, I'm not arguing with you, keep my commandment. Is your obedience to my commandment that reveal to me that you love me? If you love me, do you see why some of us are weeping, yet we are not God's lovers? Because every command, every instruction he gave us, we violated. And then we come back to church, lie on the floor. We are the ones who are thinking in our head, all by ourselves. This my white agbada is important. If I use it to lie down, even God will know. What is agbada? It's your mundane mentality. Now there is a place of reverence that commands lying down. But if you think because I'm wearing white, if I lie down, God will see it as important, you are joking. If you love me, keep my commandment. So those who obey more, love more. He reiterated same emphasis. John 14:21, verbatim. He that hath my commandment and keepeth them, he said, it is he that loveth me. John came and repeated it. 1 John 5:3. He said, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandment. So you see why the Bible said, the love of many will wax cold. There will still be people crying. There will still be people singing slow songs with tears. It doesn't mean they love God. Because it will become hard to keep the commandments of God. He considers keeping his commandment as a high realm of love and affection for him. So anybody who does not obey God's commandment is in a dangerous place. I'm not even talking about the attack of Satan. I'm talking the fact that you can become a cursed being, you can be rejected, and you can be denatured. Even if Satan doesn't fight you, you are endangered. And this is the problem of many Christians. They keep quarreling. I come to church every day. Why is this happening? Do you love God? We may be struggling here to bless a cursed man. Be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. We lay hands on you, but you are cursed. Because you love not the Lord Christ. You are anathema maranatha. So before you kill yourself and kill your pastor, tell him, please, what do I do to love God? This prayer won't work. You need to see how selfish people are trying to use God to become relevant in life. You see the guy, you see him praying, fasting, making declaration, putting videos everywhere. You think this person really wants to talk about God. It's a lie. He wants a sense of relevance. My generation too must know that I've come. So he wants to use God. And the angels are watching. We are reading it's the calibration of your heart we are monitoring, not your activities. Even if you like, go and pay for a slot in TBN Africa. Pay for a slot in BBC. Pay for a slot in CNN. Pay for a slot. Let all the influencers put your name there. When people see you, they remove their eyes, they will forget you. You can't use me. I only exhort those who love me. Some of us don't need the struggle we are going through. Something is wrong here. And the devil knows he has gotten us to the right place. He will leave us there. He won't even assign any demon. He knows if he returns in 20 years, our situation will be worse. He doesn't need to fight us. Because we are anathema maranatha.